Hello everyone and welcome to another video. And welcome to James Nick Jeffries episode 2. At the end of episode 1 we left Annie planning her trip to Miami and Ragdale Hall. This was one of the more experienced scammers and he was happy to fall into making small talk for days. If Annie had played the game properly or been a real potential victim, I'm quite sure that he would have been happy to continue for weeks, even months, as long as he felt that it took to groom his victim. My girls always keep these scams moving, usually by inviting the scammer over to visit them. So there were several days of small talk. "My days have become brighter," he said 2 days after the end of the last video. "A morning sweeter since you've come into my life. Thank you for loving me. I love you too. Good morning." "Good morning," said Annie. "I've been in the garden doing some digging. It's a lovely morning here, cool and sunny." "Really?" he said. "What are you digging for?" As if she might have gold at the end of her garden or something. "I was digging the vegetable patch," said Annie. "Okay, that's cool," he said. And I hope you can see the difference between the poetic line at the start that he clearly copied and pasted and when he types for himself. And I know that that's something that potential victims for whom English isn't the first language can easily miss. And if you're in any doubt that he copied and pasted that first message, here's what happened when I put a line of it into Google. That very same message appears on several sites full of love messages and beautiful messages. You can do the same if the person that you're talking to starts sending you poetical sayings, especially first thing in the morning or last thing at night. Just copy and paste a bit into Google. You'll usually find where they've copied them from. But if you ask them if they wrote it themselves, they'll almost always say yes. "Okay, that's cool," he said. "You have a garden?" Obviously I do," said Annie. "It's just small as I live in a new house on a new estate. I'd love a nice old house with a big garden, but I can't afford one." "How much can you buy a house in England?" he asked. "It depends where you want to buy one," she said. "Some areas are much more expensive than others. A house like mine would probably cost about £300,000. "Do you have your own house?" he asked, starting to fish for information. "I thought I told you. My ex had to buy it for me as part of the divorce settlement," she said. "If you want to see house prices, look on rightmove.co.uk. My mum lives in Guildford. Houses are much more expensive there." "Don't you like where your house is now?" he said. "It's okay," said Annie, "but it's just a boring modern house. I like old houses with more character. You know, something with a thatched roof and beams." "Really?" he said. "Okay then. I think your house is okay for you." "I think perhaps you might need to start reconsidering your choice of man, Annie. I'm not sure this is the man for you. This is the same man that told you your choice of that nice soft-top car was too expensive." "That's what my ex said," said Annie. "Do you need a new house?" he asked. "I don't need one, but I want one. But it isn't going to happen because I can't afford it." "I can't be able to afford a house and a car at the same time," said every woman's dream man. Not. "I think I'll buy the car first. After then, I'll work towards buying a house for you." The next 3 days dawned bright and early, along with Google, waxing lyrical each time. And then, finally, some good news. "Have you heard anything yet?" said Annie. Remember that contract that he was bidding for in the Philippines? "Yes," he said. "That's why I chatted you. I won the contract." And remember that if you're one of those people that likes to play spot the inconsistencies in these scammers' stories. "Oh my goodness," said Annie. "I'm so happy for you. What wonderful news." "Honey," he said, "I'm so happy. Today is my happiest day." "When are you due to start?" she asked. "I just got the mail today," he said. "Soon I will get the information from them on how to start. I'm so happy." Annie asked him if he'd be able to come and visit her in England before he started in the Philippines, and he told her that he was starting the following Wednesday. Then, on Tuesday morning, our man and Google dawned bright and early. Google got in first, saying, "Thank you for making every morning such a great one, my darling. I love you to the moon and back. Good morning. Have a great day ahead." And then our man having kicked Google firmly in the backside, took over. "No, honey," he said. "I can't make it to England first. Don't worry, I'll be coming to England from Philippines." "That's okay," said Annie. "I thought that was what you were going to say. How long will you be in the Philippines?" "I don't really know," he said, "but I know it's not going to take much time." "I'll have to try and be patient," she said. "I'm not good at that." "You have to try, honey," he said. "This is for our own good." He told Annie he was leaving the next day. And she said, "How long does the flight take?" "Okay," he said. "It takes 13 hours and 17 minutes. "That's a long flight," said Annie. "So you'll arrive late tomorrow night." "Yeah," he said. "It's a very long journey." "Can you fly business or first class?" asked Annie. "That's a long way in economy. I'd need to fly at least business class." "Yes, of course," he said, followed by, "Honey, have you eaten dinner?" "I need to go to bed now," he said a little while later. "My flight is in the morning. Love you. Good night, my sweetheart." "Okay," said Annie. "Sleep well and have a safe journey." "I will write to you when I get to Philippine," he said. 2 days later, and our man had arrived safely. "Hello, honey," he said. "How are you doing? I got here, and they have different time zone." "Of course they have a different time zone," said Annie. "I'm pleased you arrived safely." "I miss you so much," he said. "How are you doing?" "Do you have to start straight away?" asked Annie. "Or do you get a few days' rest first?" "I'm fine, starting work at midday today." "They took me to a hotel," he said, "but I will meet them tomorrow morning." "That's good," said Annie. "Is it a nice hotel?" "Yeah," he said. "I'm preparing my presentation against tomorrow's meeting." "Hope it goes well," said Annie. "Where are you in the Philippines?" "Manila," he said. "I need to sleep now. I've been making arrangements since morning." And he sent her 2 videos. One of a plane landing. I'll just play you part of it here because I'm sure it's copyright and I don't know where he's stolen it from. But you'll hear at the end that the steward on the plane does say, "Welcome to Manila." So at least he got that bit right.
We have just landed at Manila International Airport and we will now proceed to Centennial Terminal 2. Welcome to Manila.
And for the second video, I'm just going to show you some screenshots. My online researcher, Dr. Watson, and I hopped online and decided that this is Moscow Airport. If anyone can confirm or deny that, please do. As far as we can tell, it isn't Frankfurt, where he claimed to be flying from, and it isn't Manila, where he claimed to have landed. "Hello, love," he said the next day. "I'm back from the meeting. I thank God it went well." "Awesome," said Annie. "I'm really pleased for you." "Yes, honey," he said. "But they said we should come back tomorrow." "We?" asked Annie. "Are you working with someone else?" "Honey, can you imagine that I was not the only one for the contract?" "What do you mean?" asked Annie. And if you're playing Spot the Inconsistency, here it comes. One thing I will say for our man was that he was quite good at preserving the time differences. I'm sure this was one of the more experienced scammers, and I think I've said that before. The Philippines are 8 hours ahead of the UK. "They invited many people from different countries," he said. "Okay," said Annie. "Are you all doing different things?" "So, if any of us wins, we'll take the contract," he said. "No, the same thing, honey." "Oh," said Annie, "you told me you got the contract. That wasn't true." And she copied and pasted the bit where he'd said, "Yes, that's why I chatted to you. I won the contract." "That was only 4 days ago," said Annie. "What changed?" "Yes, honey, I told you that," he said. "They sent me email about that. But getting here now, I saw different people for the same contract. And they want us to show our abilities and knowledge about the work. So I have to make more interesting presentations to impress them tomorrow. Okay? Just pray for me, honey." "You mean they lied to you when they said you'd already got the contract?" asked Annie. "Yes, honey," he said. And if the person that you're talking to online keeps coming up with inconsistencies in their story, there really is no point in asking them what's happened or asking them to explain, because they will always have a reason. They will always come up with an explanation, and often they will try to blame you and make you feel guilty for misunderstanding them. You have to decide for yourself whether what they're saying is reasonable and why they might be telling you different stories. Rather than asking them and expecting them to tell you that they've lied to you, which is what I think some people do expect them to say, they aren't going to do that. And the more experienced scammers will come up with more plausible excuses and also pile on the emotional blackmail to try to convince you that what they're saying is right. In that case, you should come home, said Annie, because if they lied to you about that, they'll carry on lying to you. I wouldn't even trust them to pay you if you do win. No, honey, he said, I can't do that. This is government contract. I would, said Annie. Just tell them you aren't interested and let someone else worry about it. They want the best, he said. That's why they're doing this. Doesn't matter who it's for, said Annie. You haven't got the contract yet, and there are lots of other people bidding for it, lying because they want the best. Trust me, honey, I will win, he said, feeling his story starting to unravel. Lying to find out who's daft enough to continue and probably not get paid at the end is up to you, obviously. You're a grown man, but just be careful. I don't trust them. Trust me, honey. I will do my best, he said. All I need now is your encouragement. This contract worth millions of dollars. I'm afraid I can't do that, said Annie. I think you're making a mistake. It's worth nothing if they don't pay you. And I can't afford to lose it just because of these. They will surely pay, honey. I just hope they do, she said. Make sure they pay you at least part in advance. Many people are fighting for the contract, he said, so the ones they invited are the best among all, so I'm lucky to be one of them. Sure they'll pay. I saw my opponent's presentation today. It was not that interesting. Okay, if you say so, said Annie, but if an employer lied to me like that, I wouldn't want anything to do with them. Trust me, honey, he said. I'm working towards that. Working towards telling them you don't want anything to do with them? She asked. No, honey, he said, towards winning the contract tomorrow. The weekend passed, and then on Monday morning, he said, Hello, honey, I'm back. Guess what? Oh, said Annie, I'm hoping you got the contract. Yes, honey, he said. This is like a miracle, I told you. Oh, my goodness, said Annie, that's such good news, congratulations. I wish I could hug you from here, he said. How long will the contract take? Asked Annie. I'm starting the process today, he said. I need to make some payment. You see, subtly slipping in money and starting to groom his victim for when he finally starts asking for money. A bit later that same day, Annie asked, What will you have to do tomorrow? Will the government provide the workforce you need, or do you have to hire people yourself? I will have to use Philippine workers, he said. I'm still making the payments. Okay, she said. Payments for what? Instalment, he said. Instalment of what? Asked Annie. Machinery? The down payment process has been discussed, he said, and I'm going to receive the first instalment cheque of the total sum of the contract after I meet the last condition that was given to me. I didn't understand that, said Annie. You said you were making payments. What are you paying for? And here we go, guys. The Philippines Ministry of Works said I have to make payments for the contract fee, which include tax duty, $10,300, tax office, $10,000, IRC, $2,700, court clearance, $8,700, judge fee, $4,500, and fund remuneration fee, $12,000, which is about $48,000. Oh, said Annie, I'm surprised you have to pay them, but I guess that's how it works there. And why are there court fees? She asked. Yes, he said, that's how the contract work is. Okay, said Annie. He continued, I have made cash payment of $41,000, remaining international remittance certification, and you have no idea how hard that was to say, of $4,500 and judge fee of $2,700. I'm supposed to make the rest of the payment, which is about $7,200, with my debit card. But seriously, honey, I don't know what is wrong with my card. It stopped working here. I also contacted my bank to ratify the issue, but they said that I must be there in person. But don't worry, I will find a way to rectify the issue. Okay, said Annie, I'm sure you'll find a way. Yeah, thanks, he said. I will do my best. And this game of cat and mouse went on for several days. I won't bore you with all of it, because you'll probably fall asleep. So here are just a few highlights. "Hello, honey," he said the next morning. "Hi there," said Annie. "How's today going? Have you started work on the contract?" "I haven't completed the payment," he said. "Oh," said Annie, "but you need to get started." "Yes, honey," he said. "I'm trying my best." "Okay," said Annie. Annie went off to work. When she came home, she asked him how the day had gone. "Not really good," he said. "Have been waiting for you to come back. Have you had dinner?" "Not yet," she said. "Why?" "Make sure you eat early, okay?" "Why?" asked Annie. "What's happening?" "Everything isn't going as planned," he said. "Have to face some challenges which I didn't expect, and is really weighing me down." "Oh dear," said Annie. "How will me eating early help you?" "What's happening?" she asked. "Nothing much, dear," he said. "Just want you to eat for good health." "Oh, if nothing's happening, why are you being weighed down?" she asked. "My card isn't working," he said, "and I'm feeling so bad." "Oh dear," said a very unsympathetic Annie. "That's a shame." "Afraid that contract might be taken away from and given to another capable person." "A shame?" he asked. "How do you mean?" "Isn't it a shame?" asked Annie. "You can't be happy about it not working." "I wouldn't be. I'd be very hacked off. Have you contacted your bank? You could probably log in online and do payments that way instead." "Yes," he said. "I contacted the bank, but they said I have to be there in person to discuss the problem and rectify the issue." "Don't they have a branch in the Philippines?" asked Annie. "There must be something you can do." "And right now, can't go back," he said, "and can't activate my online banking. Still have to be present to do so. Everything seems so hard for me, honey." "Oh dear, what will you do?" asked Annie. "I'm just trying to figure things out," he said. "But none is working. It's a pity, my love." "Oh dear," said Annie. "There must be something you can do. It would be a shame to lose the contract." "Yes, my love," he said. "A big shame." "My love, I don't know what to do. Don't know of any help. It's really complicating." "You know the old saying," said Annie. "When God closes a door, somewhere he opens a window. If you lose the contract, I guess you'll just have to come here. Something else will come along. It always does." "Do you really want me to lose the contract?" he asked, starting to get the point that maybe Annie wasn't actually going to offer to help him and offer to send him money. So now he's going to try a bit of that old emotional blackmail. "Of course not," said Annie. "I didn't say that, but if there's nothing you can do, then so be it, as my old mum still says." "I understand you don't care, do you?" he said. "What a horrible thing to say," said Annie. "Of course I care." "Just want to know, my love," he said. "I just need a shoulder to lean on." "That was really unkind," said Annie. "You've upset me now." Annie asked him which bank he used. She asked him several times. "Are you going to tell me which bank you use?" she asked. "KfW Bank Group," he said, having quickly Googled banks in Germany. "I can look up their branches in the Philippines for you," she said, and look them up. It's not a proper bank. Well, not in the sense that it's a high street bank. It seems to be an investment bank. "That's not a proper bank though, is it?" she asked. "Don't you have a bank account that you use for paying bills and paying your workers?" "If I had other bank," he said hastily, "I would have told you earlier, my love. Don't worry, I'm still searching for solution." "Okay," she said. "I don't know what else to suggest. Hope you work something out." The following morning he thought he'd try again to see if a bit more of that old emotional blackmail might persuade Annie to offer to help him. "I'm fine, thanks," she said. "Have you managed to sort out your problems?" "Thanks for asking," he said. "Not really, my dear. All efforts prove abortive." Annie sent him a sad face. "I'm kind of stranded now," he said. "What will you do?" asked Annie. "Don't know who to ask for help," he said. "I shall be receiving the contract first fee after I must have completed the process," he said. They had a discussion about whether he could use PayPal, which obviously he couldn't, because his bank account isn't working. "I don't know what else to suggest," said Annie. "Thanks for all your suggestions, my dear," he said. "It's great too, but I have tried all." If you weren't prepared for this before you left for the Philippines, then maybe there's a lesson to be learned, she said. Yeah, I think so, he said. You're absolutely right. I have learnt my lessons. Just really stranded now. What will you do? She asked. Go home or come here? Annie felt her lack of sympathy deepening, and fairly soon so will our man. Would love to come to you, he said. Everything is really complicated. I don't know how to say it. Come here then, said Annie. I'm just ashamed to say it out. I don't have much money for myself. Lots of sad faces. Let's be honest, said the newly deeply unsympathetic Annie. If you didn't plan in advance for those fees, you probably aren't the right person to handle a multi-million contract, are you? Sometimes we learn the hard way in life. I don't have cash with me any more, he said. I'm very ashamed of myself. In that case, said Annie, perhaps you should go home first and sort things out. Yeah, still same problem, dear, he said. You don't seem to understand. I don't know what else I can suggest, said Annie. If you need quick cash, perhaps go to a restaurant or bar and see if there's any work going. Finally, our man started to realise that Annie was never going to offer to help him. And so finally he was forced to ask. Can I ask? He said. Can you assist me? When I come back, I will pay you back. Ask what? Asked Annie. I don't have much money in my bank. How much do you need? Maybe 1,000 euros can go well, he said. I'm so sorry to ask. I've no idea how I'd get it to you if your bank isn't working, she said. Should I buy you a ticket to come here? You can send it my Bitcoin wallet, he said. I can exchange it faster. I have no idea what that means, said Annie. You don't know about Bitcoin and exchange, he asked. I have only 50 euro Bitcoin in my wallet. You can check about it. Everyone uses it. I've heard of Bitcoin, said Annie, but I have no idea what it is. Everyone doesn't use it. Oh, sorry, he said. At least it's safest for me than looking for another way. Annie said she'd go to the bank and ask. Just the one worth 1,000 euros, he said, is okay for me, dear. Oh, said Annie, are there different kinds of Bitcoin? When you get there, he said, just tell them you want to buy Bitcoin worth 1,000 euros. Okay, I will, she said. I just looked, they don't open till 9:30. They will ask you for your wallet, he said. Then give them my wallet to transfer directly. I don't understand that, said Annie, but I'm sure they will. And so he gave her the address of a Bitcoin wallet to send the money to. Annie went into town to make the payment, but as often happens to Annie and others of my girls, somehow she never got home again. So our man was left waiting, and I know you like to see what happened next. So this is what happened after she abandoned him. Okay, she said, bye for now, leaving for town. All right, he said, and then a couple of hours later, hi dear, were you able to do it? Followed by, are you at work now? And then a few hours later, why aren't you saying anything to me? Been here waiting for you. Why are you ignoring me? I feel very embarrassed. Why don't you say something? I feel so stupid sending messages without getting any response from you. Isn't that embarrassing? Feel ashamed of myself. Well, you take care. I'm sorry for bothering you. And then the next day, how can you be like this, Annie? I'm shocked the way you ignored me since I asked you for help. I'm really sorry if that's offend you. If there's anything I've done wrong to you, why not relate it to me directly than ignoring me? I feel so foolish since yesterday being ignored by you. I regret ever opening up to you. Forgive me, okay? I don't need your help anymore. And if he comes back again, he might make it into the next episode of Hall of Heartbreak. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, please share it, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again in another video.